It is currently 1:15 a.m. right now, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about abundance and how abundance can literally kickstart everything that you've prayed for, you've wished for, into motion, into reality, because that's what happened for me. See, 2 years ago, I decided to start the journey of making the most out of my life. And that means making the most out of my financial life, my relationships, my mental health, and my spiritual health, and my physical well-being. And as any young, ambitious guy, of course I set crazy goals for myself, right? And it was in around that time I was getting a lot of reels, a lot of videos on social media talking about how if you put your mind to it, you can achieve it. You know, if you're confident, if you believe in yourself, you can achieve it. And all of that is true. And I've applied that for 2 years. 2 years every day consistently on my physical health, my mental health, my spiritual health, my relationships, and my financial life. Now, in these 2 years, I saw massive improvement in my physical health. As you can see here, I went from a skinny guy to, someone that's not as skinny, but there's still room to improve. There's always room to improve, right? Then we have my mental health and my spiritual health. That was the biggest change for me. I'd say I'd become completely unrecognizable in the sense that I have become a completely different person in my morals, values, beliefs, and what I stand for, what I talk about, how I present myself. Then we have relationships. I've upgraded my circle. The people around me now are either ahead of me in the journey or behind me in the journey, but the point is we're all in the same journey of improvement. But then in the financial life, bear in mind, I was working 12 hours a day consistently. It wasn't like I was doing it not believing in myself. No, I was doing it and I genuinely believed that I was going to make $10,000 at 18, at 19. But the reality was $150 from those 2 years. 12 hours a day, 2 years straight, on the same skill, $150. But as of late, I was able to break that plateau. I went from 0 6 months ago, 0 from that 2-year streak 6 months ago, to $3,500 a month right now in 6 months. And the key to how I went from 0 to $3,500 a month in quarter of the time I spent making $150 a month. The key was abundance. And it relates to why I was seeing physical improvement, I was seeing mental improvement, I was seeing spiritual improvement, but I wasn't seeing financial improvement. And it was because I wasn't being abundant with my money. Now, you're gonna wanna listen to me here because I know you have ambitions just like me. I know you've set goals for yourself. And I know you're in this self-improvement journey, and I know that you believe in yourself. You know that you're gonna achieve this money, but for some reason, it still hasn't hit your account yet. Well, that's because you haven't been abundant. Now, I know it sounds really spiritual for me to say, oh, it's abundance. It's all about being abundant, my friend. What does that actually mean, right, to be abundant? Well, let me give you an example. The very first decision I made that begun this whole momentum of going from 0 to 3,500 was taking a 9-to-5 job. See, I've been scrolling through Instagram and TikTok to see a lot of these gurus talk about how working a 9-to-5 is bullshit. It's like, it's a waste of time. It's the matrix, right? So I had a negative connotation of working in a 9-to-5, and I had a scarce mindset around it, right? And the funny thing is, I would get opportunities to work in 9-to-5s, to work in normal jobs, but I always rejected them because of those negative connotations that I've had. But one day I decided, you know what? Maybe these negative notions of working a 9-to-5 isn't true. Maybe I should try it out. So I decided, you know what? If I can still have enough time to work on my business, but also do a 9-to-5, why not? So that's exactly what I decided to do. And that's when I started making my first $150 again, $200, let's say. And in that first month, it was, I think, 1 year since I've had money hit my account. Bear in mind, I have the privilege to have a roof over my head, to be able to eat warm meals, to be able to shower in clean water. And I'm very grateful for that. But, I was not making any money at all. Zero in my bank account. But it was okay because, I wasn't going out or anything. So I didn't really find it a problem. But yeah, this was money hitting my account after, I think, a year and a half dry streak from the last time I made that $150. And, to me, it wasn't like this money was a treasure. It wasn't like, oh my God, I finally have this money. It wasn't like that. To me, I saw the money that came into my account as like, hey, nice. It's there, and I'm fine without it, and I'm fine with it. And for some reason, it was that mindset where I was like, how do I say this? Calm and confident that the money was always going to be there and it didn't really matter. And I know it might sound a little bit arrogant for me to say that, but it's not arrogance. It's kind of like this calm confidence where you're like, yeah, I have money, but then nothing changes, right? And it was this mindset where, the moment I had that $200 in my bank account, whenever we would go out to eat, I guess with my work friends, and they sometimes couldn't afford the things we were eating, I would happily pay for it knowing that they'll never pay me back. And I was completely fine with it. I was peaceful. I found peace in it. I was grateful that I'm able to provide for these people and able to provide sustenance and happiness for them. And those emotions kind of looped back into how I saw money as the certain thing, right? I was confident that it was always going to be there and I was always going to get more of it. And certainly enough, the second month, I made double what I was making the first month. The third month, I made double again. Fourth month, rise again. Fifth month, another raise. And then my sixth month, boom, shattered ceilings. Went from, I believe, 1K to 3.5K. And I'm confident that next month is going to be more as well. And I'm not saying that to be cocky or arrogant. I'm just saying I just have this abundant mindset because I know that money will come and go. And I'm fine with it. And I'm fine without it. And whenever someone that needs help in the financial sense, I would happily provide for them. But here's the big difference. You may watch this video and think, okay, I get what Rayon's saying. He's basically telling me to pay for my friends. And then God will give me this massive return. But no, it's not about providing for people, hoping to get good karma back. But it's rather helping people for the sake of helping people. Helping people because you already have enough. See, the key was, I told myself I had enough when I had nothing. So when I do have something, I still have enough, nothing changed, right? But then how does it keep increasing? It's because I know that I'm gonna get more and more as time goes on. It's that confidence, it's that certainty, it's that abundant mindset. Because money is abundant. But to be abundant, you need to be in a high frequency. You need to be grateful that you have this money. And use that gratefulness to help others, to spread happiness. And that is what being abundant is. So look, if you're in this journey like me and you're struggling to see financial gain, I suggest you to be more abundant with your money, not be so scarce with it. Not be like, yes, I finally made $500. Now I gotta save it, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Yes, save the money, of course. But don't be scared to spend. When you spend as if you have infinite amounts of money. Because money is always coming to you, okay? So spend it. Go buy your friend that nice watch. Go buy your friend those drinks. Go buy your mom that nice dinner, right? But remember, you're not buying stuff for them hoping to get stuff bought for you. You're buying stuff for them because you want to buy stuff for them. And you know that money will always come back. That is being abundant. And that just might be the key to your financial success.